If you've ever listened to a guided meditation by Dr. Joe Dispenza, you've probably heard him ask you to set an intention. But what exactly does he mean when he says that? If this is something that you have ever questioned, stick around, because today we're going to learn what an intention is, why an intention isn't just saying what you want, and how to set it the right way so you can bring your intentions to life. The first step to setting a powerful intention is clarity. Both your brain and your body require a clear target to focus on. So take a moment and ask yourself this: what do I truly want to experience? And I'm not just talking about the material here, although that's always nice. I'm talking emotionally too. Do you want to feel more freedom, more joy, maybe peace and relaxation? What experience are you looking for? When posed with this question, many people suddenly realize that they don't actually know what they want. They just know they want something different. You yourself might find this a difficult task, but if you expect a different reality, you have to set an intention. And in order for the intention to be clear, you have to know what you want. So the more specific you are, the better. But if you can't get the specifics down just yet, start with the emotion that you want to experience and then imagine what that would look like. Once you've set your intention, now you need to write it out. You might say something like, I feel more confident at work than I ever imagined. People come to me for advice, and my team is the reason that we've had so much growth. The clearer, more specific you can be with your intention, the easier it will be for you to lock into that vision. And here's where life gets exciting. Once you decide on your intention, you don't just write it down and reread the words. Now it's your job to feel what it would feel like, as if you just opened up your eyes and you were already there, that your intention had actually come to life. You were living in that moment that you're now dreaming of. So go ahead. If you already have an intention in mind, take a moment right now and imagine yourself living in that intention. And if you need a little help with this, I've created a quick 5-minute visualization meditation that you can take a look at right here. And while you're doing the visualization, ask yourself, how does it really feel? Like really feel in your heart. Let your heart fill with the feeling, the emotion, the excitement that this new visualization brings. Be mindful though, that when you practice this, especially if you are new, you'll often find a voice creeping inside of your head saying things like, this is silly, or how could this even ever happen to me? Or that dream is too big to ever come true, and so many more. These are called limiting beliefs, and you do not want to fall into the trap of giving into them. If you're not familiar with how limiting beliefs work and how powerful a pull they have on your life, check out this video where I not only give you 10 common limiting beliefs that might be holding you back from living the life of your dreams, but the affirmations that you'll want to start using with each, and a free guide that also includes actionable steps that you can start using today to make your limiting beliefs a thing of the past. But for now, the feeling the emotion step is essential because, believe it or not, your body doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one you vividly imagined. And by feeling it now, you're tuning into the energy of your future self. And if you want to try out a fun little experiment that proves this phenomenon, take a look at this video here. It's a fun one. Let's take a minute to talk briefly about understanding the science behind setting intentions. We already talked about how setting an intention isn't just wishful thinking, but what you also need to know is that it's rooted in how your brain and body communicate with each other. Science has shown that when you first focus on a clear intention and then pair it with what's called an elevated emotion, you're literally reprogramming your mind and body to align with that future. But how exactly does it all work? Think of your brain waves as a rhythm in your mind, and we'll compare it to driving, something that we're all pretty familiar with. When you drive in a city, let's say, There's traffic everywhere, several lanes going all directions, and it gets chaotic. You're always on alert. But when you drive in the country, the roads are longer, the traffic is little, and the ability to relax and enjoy the scenery suddenly is a lot easier. Your brain acts in the exact same sort of way. During the hustle and bustle of your busy day, your brain operates in a fairly chaotic state called beta. But when you're in deep focus, when you meditate, or when you practice visualization, your brain waves settle from beta into alpha and sometimes even theta. It is these slower brain waves that act as a gateway to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is where all your habits and beliefs are stored. When you're in this alpha state, you're not just thinking about your intention. It's almost like you're planting the seed of intention in fertile soil. Let's take that example a little bit further. If your intention is the seed, then your emotion, your elevated emotion, gratitude, love, excitement, all of that you feel acts as the sunlight and water. And the more you feed into and create that feeling, the faster the seed of intention grows into something real. Think of this process like charging a battery. Every time you visualize your intention and feel those elevated emotions, it's like adding a charge to the battery. Skip a day and it loses charge. Stay consistent, and soon enough, the battery will be at full power and become your new reality. If you've ever heard the term neuroplasticity, this is the phase where it enters the scene. And if you haven't, just stick with me for a minute. You see, whether you realize it or not, your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. By focusing your intention and feeling it on repeat, you're now in the process of creating new neural pathways, even though you don't realize it's happening. Think about riding a bike. It was difficult the first time, right? But each time you practiced, you got a little bit better, you fell a little less, and you became more and more stable until riding a bike with ease became your new reality. Well, each time you practiced, your brain was creating new pathways. Each time you fell, your brain was creating new pathways. With each mistake, fail, fall, and retry, you guessed it, new neural pathways. When we look at this in terms of setting an intention, each time you set an intention and settle your brain waves into an alpha state, your subconscious is primed and more suggestible. When you begin to practice feeling the elevated emotions, this is where neuroplasticity happens. And now our brain starts forming new connections that align with our intention. Simply put, you're rewiring your brain to think, feel, and act like the person you want to become. Over time, this becomes your new normal. You now become the person you once imagined yourself being. The big question, though, that always comes up without fail is, how will this all happen? If you've ever followed any of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, and I love him, you'll know he tells us that the how really isn't any of our business. I know it's a hard answer to hear, because who doesn't want the comfort of knowing and preparing for what's to come? But you must trust the process and release any feelings of lack, resistance, or the need to control every step. Here's an easy way to think about it. Picture yourself driving to a place that you've never been, and you've put the address into your GPS. What you don't do is stop the car every 5 minutes to question whether or not the GPS is working. Instead, you trust that it will guide you every step of the way. Your intentions work in the same way. Once you set it and align with the emotions, your subconscious mind acts as your internal GPS system, organizing events, people, opportunities, all of that good stuff to align with it. So don't obsess over how it's all going to happen. Stay open to the possibilities, even if they're not the ones that you expect. And because of that, the key is to keep moving forward, even if you don't know the exact turn that you're going to take next. All right, setting an intention is clarity, planting the seed, feeling elevated emotion, charging your battery, trust, following your internal GPS, and practice. Creating that daily habit that entails becoming the version of you who already lives that reality. I hope today you found something helpful or inspiring, and I would love for you to tell me what intention you want to set for yourself. Go ahead and share it in the comments so we can continue to inspire each other to set amazing intentions. Until next time, and as always, enjoy the joy.